Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone wherever you are. My name is Sekai Solomon Kampala Kyagulanyi, and today I will be talking about the late retired Major John Kasora's book, Betrayed by My Leader. Betrayed by My Leader takes us through the late retired Major John Kasora's life in the Bush War and how his leader, YOWERI Kaguta Museveni, betrayed his principles over time. In this book, we get to see that YOWERI Kaguta Museveni, who once stood for unity for all peoples in Uganda, justice for all, and human rights, came to be the one thing that he preached against. What once began as a revolution for democracy has now become a dynasty built on lies, conspiracy, and deception. And what once was meant to be a government built by the people for the people has now become one man's family business. We dive into the late retired Major John Kasora's book and expose of Museveni and who he truly is. In the beginning, Museveni sounded like hope, a young intellectual man, a man who promised to unite all our tribes and restore dignity to the Ugandan people. But even in those early days, beneath all the slogans and the sharp speeches, the author saw something darker, an obsession with control. Loyalty mattered more to Museveni than courage. Obedience mattered more than the truth. And the very methods used to win the war, secrecy, manipulation, and the silencing of all their enemies, became the blueprint for the dictatorship that followed. He became the very thing he swore to destroy. When Museveni came into power in 1986, Ugandans celebrated. They thought that the tyranny was over. Songs of freedom filled the air, but the honeymoon was very short-lived. Shortly after, all political opponents to Museveni either disappeared or were incarcerated. Let's speak facts. Museveni abolished political parties. He abolished political parties and replaced them with a movement system, a one-man structure that demanded loyalty over political freedom and demanded loyalty over the love for your people. Museveni built the NRA into the UPDF, and this new UPDF was Museveni's own little personal army, which he used to purge political enemies and to silence the Ugandan people. Anyone that came up to say anything against Museveni was immediately silenced. Even his own comrades, the likes of Besigye, Sejusa, and Mushega, all were silenced. Some were exiled, jailed, and some were even killed. All of these among others. These were the tactics that Museveni used to intimidate and silence the Ugandan people right after he came into power. This is how Museveni has held power for such a long time. By the mid-90s, the Bush War's dream was now gone, rotten. The 10-point system that Museveni and his comrades had built early on in the struggle that put forward democracy, the advancement of society, and the well-being of the people was now down, and a new system that based itself off bribes, intimidation, and killings was put in place, not to ensure the well-being of the people of Uganda, but to ensure the longevity of Museveni's government, to leech and milk Ugandans for as long as possible. The revolution was over. Now the regime had begun. Museveni's Uganda runs on surveillance and silence. The Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence, CMI, the Internal Security Organization, ISO, and the Special Forces Command, SFC, all of them function as extensions of one man's paranoia. Safe houses became torture chambers. Citizens vanish in the night. Journalists are beaten for filming the truth, and opposition leaders are arrested for daring to speak. In this Uganda, you do not need to commit a crime to be imprisoned. You only need to think differently. This, my brothers and sisters, is how the revolution eats its own children. While the people are controlled by fear, Museveni builds a dynasty behind the curtains. Janet Museveni, his wife, becomes a minister. Relatives control security, intelligence, and finance. And his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, is quietly groomed to inherit power.
Make sure those people are not happy with this country. Right? Are we together, my friend? Now. Right? It's physical. All people who he has been with. Are we together? Meaning the last date of the retirement of the general 20. All of them, right? Now 2028, we shall identify officers which we are doing now. Where the regions where they come from. What is called MK project. MK what? Project. MK project. If you are getting it, I am telling you, we shall crush you. We shall do what? Yeah, we shall crush you. I am not a Munyankole and I have never been a Munyankole. My mother is a Mutoro. Sawa? But to be who I am right now, I was raised by Munyankole. I became a Koporo by Munyankole. I became a Usumiten by Munyankole. I became a PC by Munyankole. I became a lieutenant by Munyankole. And I am here in Oliver Town by Munyankole. Yes, sir. So there is no way whatsoever that I can betray you. Right? So you have become an officer. I'm telling you this bitter message. I'm telling you what? A very bitter message that you have accepted. That if they come, you finish 2026, he comes, you hand over 31, give us the blessing, then the MK project takes what? And if you want to enjoy this family, I'm telling you, if you want to enjoy this family, you must vote. Are we together? Campaign? Yes.
This is not a conspiracy, it's a fact. Uganda, once a republic, has become a royal estate. Our forefathers fought against a monarchy, and they were lied to and manipulated into crowning a new royal family. But this time, the royal family is wearing military uniforms. In the book, we see the author talk about how the constitution has been manipulated. In 1995, when Ugandans believed in a new dawn, a constitution with term limits and age limits. But when those limits threatened Museveni's rule, he shredded them. In 2005, he removed term limits. And in 2017, I'm sure most of us have seen, and most of us were there during that time, when the age limit was abused and the age limit was removed in 2017. The author does not mourn for himself, but for a generation of people that have been deceived. The same guns that have freed Uganda are now turned on Ugandans. The same flag that symbolizes unity now flies over fear. He writes, "We replace the gun with the same gun pointed at us." That line defines Uganda today and the position we're in as a country. Now, my brothers and sisters, this is a call to action. Us as Uganda's young and restless generation, for us to unite, we need to work beyond this fear and this intimidation if we want to build a new Uganda where all of us are equal, where all of us have the same opportunities as the next person. We need to unite. The current regime survives through military control, manipulation, corruption, and patronage, but it cannot survive in a population where 80% of us are under the age of 30. We need to unite and look past all this manipulation. We need to look past everyone's tribes. We need to look past everyone's differences. And we need to all unite for the same cause, for us all to have the same opportunities, for us all to benefit from good healthcare, good education, and remove the elite ruling class from Uganda. Every single post, every single voice, every single one of us matters. If we do not speak up for our rights, Uganda will become a monarchy, passed down from Museveni to his son, and democracy will cease to exist. Ugandans will suffer more and more. Let us eradicate this disease from Uganda while we still can. Vote, 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 vote. And after you vote, stay and protect your vote. Don't let them waste your vote. Don't let anyone undermine your vote. Don't let anyone undermine your vote. Vote. Vote, 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 vote. And make sure that your candidate is respected. Make sure your vote is respected. Stay there and make sure that no one is undermining your life. You have one life. Use it well. Thank you very much.